We stay for a bit.
Why?
It's just really good seeing you. I think I want to put an offer in.
One question.
Yeah.
Are you married?
Huh?
You able to stay?
Yes.
Make it sound like I'm crazy or something.
No, I'm making it sound like you got things you need to work through.
Every time I touch you, I think of him touching you.
So you thought it was a good idea to bring a woman into my home to have sex with?
All right, Sistas fans, you just saw a portion of the Season 3 Part 2 trailer we got to look at during the Tyler Perry show, Sistas After Show Edition. Now, in case you're new to the channel, and before you decide to dislike the video or curse me out in the comments, why did you only play part of the clip? Why didn't you play the whole thing? YouTube has a strict copyright / fair use policy that I need to follow, especially Viacom. If I would have played the entire clip, which is about a minute 10 seconds, Viacom would instantly have it removed from the video. So please bear with me. That's why I have to play the clip, then talk for a little bit, and then play the back half of the clip, and then the final part of the clip. So we got a lot of stuff to go over. I got like a page and a half of notes. Trust and believe I will go over every scrap of this trailer, and I'll actually make sure to put the pictures on screen along with the dialogue. So if I'm talking about Zach, you're going to see Zach. That way it makes sense in the context of how I'm breaking it down. So let me go ahead and play part 2 of the trailer.
I'd really love to take you to dinner.
Robin, you know I can't.
You don't even have your ring on yet.
She's pretty faithful.
Is she?
Danny, I'm gonna go as far as I have to go to make you love me. Put your wop in my mouth.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
You are in love with that man.
You know you could be jealous and not be in love, right?
All right, and there's like a little left between Fatima and Hayden, and I'll save that for just the very last part of the trailer. But in order to kind of put in this fluff time, that way YouTube doesn't block the video, make sure you take a moment to hit the like button. Let's try to get this to 300 likes. This video is a big deal, so hit the thumbs up button. Hit subscribe because, well, I would love to hit 200,000 subscribers before the end of 2021. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. And make sure you hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. So without further ado, let me play the last portion of this trailer. Then we can go ahead and break this sucker down.
So I keep asking myself, how can I get this mother elf to leave me alone?
You are wilding out, for real.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Here's the thing. We would like to do it again.
Who is we?
Okay guys, so again, I wish I could have played the entire thing at once because it would have made more sense, but like I said, I can't fight YouTube and Viacom. I got to do it the way they say to do it. But in any case, yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to break down the trailer in order of the events of the trailer. What I like to do is try to put the puzzle pieces together. So for example, I might talk about all the Danny scenes first, and then Sabrina, and then Andy, and then, you know, Karen, and, you know, so on and so forth. So I like to make this as structured as possible. Of course, I'll probably have some breakaway videos from this. Like I might talk about one certain thing at the 12-minute mark, but then I'm like, you know what, I want to also make a separate video on that because maybe over the next couple of days I come up with some more ideas. So we start off the trailer. We start off the trailer with El Fuego, if I'm not mistaken, El Fuego, who is a character in the upcoming show All the Queen's Men, coming to BET Plus September 9th. He's a dancer at Club Eden. It looks like him and Danny, I don't know if this is one of two things. They're either coming back from a date, or maybe, just maybe, because I'm looking at how Danny's dressed and it's just amazing. This is either a date they went on, or is it possible this is after the girls went to the club? Because remember, El Fuego told Sabrina, hey, why don't you and the girls come over to Club Eden sometime? So it's possible, because if I'm not mistaken, Sabrina was talking with Danny when she arrived at the girls' night, And she was like, oh, El Fuego, yeah, I know about Club Eating, I know about that. So maybe she's kind of in a funk after Preston left, so she decides to cheer herself up by going to Club Eating, maybe alone, maybe with the girls, who knows. But either way, her and El Fuego meet up there, and then they either go to her place or his place. And I think El Fuego says, I'll stay for a bit because it's so good to see you again. And then they start going at it. So, I mean, this could be Danny's place. I could be wrong, but, maybe El Fuego goes over to her place after, they meet up at the club, or maybe they went out to get some dinner. Who knows? But either way, yeah, it's something else. So this really makes me intrigued to check out what all the Queens men got going on September the 9th. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the only other Danny scene is one with Preston, and it looks like he's back at the apartment. He's back at the apartment and shirtless under a blanket. And he says, I'll go as far as I have to make you love me. And this cowboy rodeo says, put your wop in my mouth. I had to go back because I didn't understand what he said. I didn't catch it when it first aired on TV. I was, watching the video, taking my notes and whatnot for the sake of this breakdown. But I went back, I saw Danny's face. I'm like, what the hell did he say? And yes, he said, put your wop in my mouth. So this man must have listened to some Cardi B, because I believe he told Zach that he wasn't that much of a fan of Danny's music, and I don't know much about the R and the B in the B. So yeah, it definitely looks like he's been doing some I wouldn't say culture appropriation, but basically he's been doing some homework, researching his research for the sake of appealing to Danny, talking a language she would understand. And by the look on her face, I'm pretty sure she did. Okay, so then we go over to Sabrina and Maurice, and this part shocked me because, again, I didn't really notice it when I first watched it on television. So we know that in the mid-season finale, it looks like these two missed each other, and it looks like they're trying to start something between each other. And in the end credit trailer for the mid-season finale, we see those two in bed together. Sabrina's like, I missed you so much. But in this trailer, over at Maurice and Calvin's apartment, Sabrina and Maurice are kind of like in the kitchen area, and they're shocked when Calvin and Peggy come out of his bedroom without any clothes on. And then moving on to the bank, it looks like Maurice is saying, you're in love with him, girl. It's like, you can be jealous and not in love, right? So this reveals a couple of things. So it appears that, number one, Sabrina is in love with Calvin. Number two, she's jealous because she saw him and Peggy walk out of his bedroom together. Now remember, Calvin and Peggy aren't a thing, because when she was first introduced at the gay bar, they were just hanging out, and Maurice was, basically asking questions, and Peggy and Calvin just like to try different things, twosomes, threesomes. They're very, I guess the word is kinky. They aren't a couple, but they're just, they call each other up, kind of like that. So I don't know if Sabrina and Calvin decide to officially be in a relationship. It just doesn't make sense to me that we would see Calvin and Sabrina reconcile and get together, but then all of a sudden Calvin, of all people, is still hooking up with another woman. It just seems like, I don't know what happens. But in any case, I'm just wondering, the second part I want to talk about, given the fact that this is at the bank and we see Maurice and Sabrina there, I'm thinking this might mean Maurice finds a way to defend himself against Q, and he doesn't end up opening the vault and giving him the money. Because, to be completely honest, with the way the pacing works in this show in regards to, day and night, how many days pass and whatnot, I don't think we would see Maurice just casually working at the bank if he was on camera and whatnot, robbing it. So I'm going to say he possibly figures out a way to fight Q off, talk him down. I really don't know, because given the fact that we see Maurice at gunpoint, being held at gunpoint, and Calvin's over at Sabrina's, the only way it could work out is, again, if Maurice defends himself against Q on his own. I mean, it's not that he couldn't, because we saw how he beat the hell out of Alonzo, but remember, he wasn't held at gunpoint in that situation. You know, maybe Calvin and Sabrina, they have sex because they miss each other, but then the conversation of getting into a relationship doesn't go the way Calvin wants, so then he decides to go home, and then maybe he saves Maurice, I don't know, but then that could explain why he hooks up with Peggy, because he thought him and Sabrina would be a thing, but then it turned out not to be, so he just decides to go back to what he knows best, which is his girl Peggy. And I want to make a Hamilton reference, but I promised myself not to sing in any more of these videos for a long time. So yeah, it looks like Maurice is going to be okay. So we've already talked about Danny and Sabrina, and I'm very curious on who I should talk about next, because obviously it's Karen, Fatima, or Andy. So let's talk Fatima first. So towards the end of the trailer, we get the hilarious scene of Hayden and Fatima and apparently his ride. And remember, in the end credit scene, he's telling Fatima, and remember, this is the preview I'm referencing here, the preview for episode 12, that I hope your boy didn't do anything illegal. So that's in reference to the stock. But Fatima's like, I keep asking myself, how can I get this MFing elf to leave me alone? And then Hayden's like, you wilding out for real. And she said, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because remember, she told Hayden and Zach, I'm crazy as hell, and once I reach a certain point, there's no turning back. We know she packing heat. So that's really it for Fatima. So I'll talk Zach here. Zach is being shown a property, and if I'm not mistaken, this is either the duplex he told Danny about, the one that's over $400,000, because he said he would live in one half and then rent out the other for like $200K. And he tells the real estate agent he wants to put in a bid. And just going back to what I said in my episode review, the way, even though it's just a brief second, just the way Zach carries himself, yeah, I like to put in a bid. I'm like, what? A new suit, new attitude, Zach, come on now, you the man. Either way, you know, he's being shown the property. He's telling the real estate agent, yeah, I'd like to put in a bid. And she's like, sure, one question though. What's that? Are you married? What? So I feel like that's something people need to, I don't feel like anybody considered this. You know, it's like Biggie Smalls said, I mean, I'll let the man say it himself.
That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, it's just negative energy, like my man Puff.
Just because Zach had a come up, he and Fatima seem to be moving forward. The more money you have, the more problems you get. And when you're coming up in a relationship, there are a lot of obstacles that come in the way. And there's going to be another one I'll talk about in just a few minutes here. But Zach is going to have people flirting with him that he probably wouldn't have had looking his way before he came up. You know, obviously he's very attractive to women. The fact that, you know, he's basically banged a lot of people, and the fact that, you know, hell, Fatima took a chance on him. So when you look at Zach now with all this money, he's obviously going to get the attention of some, I guess you could say, hot as what's his name, Kevin something, I can't think of his name. Is it Kevin Samuel, or I don't want to say the wrong name, but basically that guy that goes viral because he gives quote unquote advice to men and women, like, you know, high maintenance, a high class man. So in this case, like, Zach is going to have a new bracket of women available to him now that he didn't have during his come up, if you will. So I'm very interested to see how Zach is going to deal with all of this attention that he wasn't getting before. Just keeping that in mind here. So aside from that, and I'm going to get the cables twisted here because I wanted to keep these character scenes kind of separate, but I got to talk about it. So Zach has another scene where he's at the salon in the office with Karen, you know, the same one he was holding her up, banging her against the wall. Karen, in an emotional voice, says, "You hear what I said?" And then Zach says, "Yes." And he's upset. Before recording this video, I did an entire video about the possibility of her announcing a pregnancy. But some people have said, Jeremy, what if it isn't that Karen is pregnant and she's telling Zach? What if she's telling Zach that Aaron proposed to her and she is possibly getting married? That's a valid second choice, but I think the pregnancy makes the most sense based on the body language and emotion that you can genuinely see during this scene. So kind of like the woman flirting with Zach and Hayden trying to sow the seeds of doubt within Fatima's mind of the stock being legal. Now there's a possible pregnancy on top of that. So I really feel like we're going to get some true obstacles for the Zatima dynamic during the back half of season 3. Now, ironically enough, and I could be wrong, but this is how I read the situation. Directly after the scene of Karen and Zach in the salon, it looks like we have, you know, Aaron and Karen just sitting on the couch. Now, I was a bit alarmed at first. Like, wait, is that Karen for Baby Bump? No, I was just looking at it the wrong way. I was a bit paranoid because, remember, this is right after the Zach scene. But in any case, Karen's saying, "You make it sound like I'm crazy or something." And Aaron's like, "No, I'm making it sound like you have some things to work on." And the way that came across, a lot of people forget this, but I actually was reminded of this in one of the comment sections on Instagram on one of my posts, and somebody's like, "Well, yeah, I follow Aaron's actor online and he's really big in doing like motivational videos and affirmations and whatnot, kind of like Fatima does on the show." And he said some good stuff back in season 1, like when Karen literally ripped Zach a new one and Aaron's like, "I'm not taking his side, but the way you talk to him is not how you're going to talk to me if we're together." Basically tearing me down and whatnot. That's not what, you know, a woman's supposed to do to a man or a man to a woman. So it seems like, and I could be wrong here, like I said, this is only a little snippet. It kind of felt like Aaron was coming across to Karen the same way Karen comes off to Zach, where it's like pointing out flaws and whatnot as opposed to building up. So like she said, "You make it sound like I'm crazy or something." No, I'm making it sound like you have some things to work on. So I feel like this is just Aaron telling a truth, or this is Aaron kind of showing his true colors, or maybe Karen's possibly taken aback because she's not used to being told this kind of thing. So I'm just saying, you never know. You never know. Okay. Then the last few scenes are Robin and Andy and Fatima related. I'm not going to cover the scene of the trailer where Gary's telling Andy about the whole therapist thing. That was a scene from the mid-season finale. I feel like it was only placed in this trailer to say, hey, Gary's trash, so let's talk about Andy and Robin. Alright, so there's a scene where Robin is in the office with Andy, most likely the next day because they're wearing different clothes, and Robin's asking Andy to go to dinner, and she's like, "You know I can't." And he's like, "Well, I noticed the ring isn't on your finger anymore," so it looks like he noticed the engagement is off apparently. Then Fatima's telling Robin that Andy's pretty faithful, and he's like, "Is she?" And I'm like, dude, this guy is up to something, because in another scene, and it looks like this is taking place at Robin's hotel. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the hotel he's staying at. This is clearly after they've had sex, because he's in bed and she's in her red lingerie. I think it's the same lingerie she was wearing on the night that her and Gary were supposed to be married, but she said no, and Gary didn't even want to touch her. And Robin says, "We would like to do it again." Who's we? And then the door apparently opens up, because we look at how Robin looks over towards the door, and then the door opens up, and it's like, okay, what the hell's going on? Who is coming into the room? Now, yes, I'll do a separate video on who I think is behind the door, but good Lord, I think Tyler Perry's kind of overdone it so far within the span of this season alone. in regards to who's behind the closed door. Wait a minute, did Maurice overhear Calvin and another man in his bedroom behind a closed door? Is Fatima overhearing Gary and another woman behind a closed door? And then of course Andy came in and, you know, confirmed it was just Gary. Andy comes home from work, hears some moaning from the kitchen, opens the bedroom door, and yeah, lo and behold, it is Gary and another woman. Well, women, but only one woman's on top of him. But in this case, this Robin is... Now I'm like, I don't know if we can trust Robin, because something isn't right. You know, from the way that he tells Andy in the preview for the next episode that something's going on here that's bigger than the both of us, and then he asks Fatima if she's faithful, and it's kind of like, why would you ask that? I mean, the fact that you were the one pursuing her after seeing the engagement ring, now you had sex. And Robin, okay, remember, he's working at a law firm in the UK, and he's working on establishing a partnership with this law firm, and he's getting close to Andy. It seems like there's another player in the midst of this. I want to say it's Jasmine that walks from behind that door, but I mean, I don't know if she's into threesomes. But then on top of that, it's like, isn't she supposed to be in jail right now? Because remember, Karen read the lawsuit that Jasmine filed against Andy and the girls. Yeah, Gary's ex, who's in jail right now. So I guess Jasmine is still in jail, unless, being a lawyer, Robin would have the connections to get her out. Do you think it's Gary and this whole thing was a elaborate scheme? But I'm going to be honest here. Some people have pointed this out, and it's very possible, and I think this would be very badass. What if it's Bellamy? Remember Bellamy being the boss Andy had during season 1, and you know, he got fired in season 2 when the investigation went through, and he was actually part of the scheme involving Jasmine and Morris. So this could be a revenge scheme. I don't know, but either way, I want to know who the hell is behind that door. I mean, I couldn't tell if it was somebody walking in through the front door, if it was just a closet. They up in the closet. You never know. But overall, like I said, I'll do another video in the near future. I just need to let this trailer break down, get the views and the attention it needs, and then I'll do the breakaway video soon enough. But other than that, I'm excited, as I don't know what for October to get here. It looks like every character is going to have a time to shine, and I mean, hopefully the storylines of Sabrina, Danny, and other characters will improve. That way Zatima isn't miles ahead, which it already is. But overall, there's a lot of mystery and intrigue. But remember, when they edit these trailers, it's done so in a way that's effective misdirection. Some of my predictions might be completely on the mark. Other predictions might be, well, completely wrong. But then again, that's okay. It's all in good fun. So as always, make sure you like and subscribe like I requested earlier in the video. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, I'll talk to you all next time.